Hello Gemini, welcome to your tarot reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. If Gemini is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. And if there's anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Gemini, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. So we have a Seven of Pentacles. Let's put that into some context. That is some very hard-working earth energy, all right? Very hard-working. And there is the Strength card, and pleasure, and some fire, and some fortune, and some air. More air, more majors, more air, and more majors. I think with this Eon or Judgment card coming at the end here, these are the great things that are on their way to you, right? This is the doorway to your future. So it feels to me like we're really trying to work on some things now. We're really trying to make all of this effort pay off. And I think that you have absolute certainty that it will pay off. It's just a matter of getting through a couple of these difficulties and then the big payoff. Right, this is the kind of the breakthrough success. This is the next level of things. But first, let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. We're using the Smith-Waite Tarot, and we're just going to select that one. We'll put the alien right on top, and we'll park them over there. Now, we don't look at that card until the very end, okay? And hopefully that card will tie everything together and give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. So let's look around at these cards in a little bit more detail. We have major, major, major. We have a really nice kind of trifecta of major arcana. So this is really good. The success that you want can be yours, but we have to learn how to kind of combine some of our energies, right? We've got fire, we've got air, we've got earth, we've got water, a little bit more air. So I feel like it's kind of about dealing with the overload of this air energy. There's a lot of the air. And then, of course, we have the fire, the water, and the earth energy. So I think it's pretty balanced, but there's a little bit of an emphasis on that air energy. It could be in the relationships that we have. Maybe there's a particular person. It could be a Sagittarius person. But I think, well, let's start with the Seven of Pentacles. You've been hard at work on this thing for a while now. And I think that despite it not being a quick payoff, you're still doing it. You're still working very hard, okay? And I think you knew that this wasn't going to be like just one day of work and then you get this big paycheck, you know. I think you knew that it was going to be a rather slow process, that you would have to put in a lot of time and energy, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears before this actually pays off. And the cool thing is, I feel like all this hard work that you're doing now, because you're not losing faith, because you're not losing hope, because you're staying strong and you're doing the work, you're going to reach this breakthrough success. Right, you're going to hit the next level. That is you really moving into the kind of the success phase of this, right? But currently, I think you've been really focused on the hard work, and you know, like any kind of worthwhile endeavor, you have to put the time and energy into it now, and allow it to grow and mature over time. It's not an instant gratification. You know, it's kind of a slow burn. And I think that's what we've been doing. I think you have this strength about you, this fire energy, this Nine of Wands card is keeping you going, right? Maybe just with this alone, it would be easy to quit. I've been doing this for a while, not really showing me the results. I'll be done with it. But not you. You have this inner resolve, this commitment, this willpower where you said, I'm doing this. I know what the results will be. I'm prepared for it to take a minute to arrive, but I'm not going to quit. See, the Nine of Wands is a real inner strength. It comes from knowing yourself, knowing who you are, knowing what you're about, knowing your potential, knowing your will, knowing that this is the right path for you. You don't have any doubt. The air energy here is not about us wondering if we're on the right path. No, we are. And you know it. You have faith in it. You have trust in it. You have this desire to enjoy life and to connect with people. And you have the perfect plan and blueprint. You've got really everything that you need here, right? I think these great things are on their way. Really, it feels like the cards are kind of saying, keep doing what you're doing, but let's deal with this air energy. Could be a Sagittarius person, but I feel like there's some kind of a conflict, some kind of friction between yourself and maybe a fire sign person, maybe specifically that Sagittarius person. And that could be someone close to you. We'll get to that energy in a minute, but I want to stay with the Nine of Wands for just another second, because it really feels like this is your inner certainty. And I really am very happy to see this with you. You know, there's no doubt in your mind. There's no debate whether or not this is meant for you. There's no doubt whether or not you can achieve this. It's just a matter of when and how difficult is it going to be, right? So there's a real connection that you have with your own soul, your spirit, with God, goddess, deity, right? With the universe. And you've probably had visions of this future. You know, you see it so clearly that there is literally no doubt. And this is the strength to continue. This is the willpower that I think we all wish we had, right? To commit to something and to stick with it, even if the results are slow to arrive, okay? Slow to arrive. Now, I don't think it was always this way with you. In the recent past, we've got a Queen of Wands here. This is water and fire. This could be the beginning of the conflict with this maybe Sagittarius, maybe that fire sign person. But the Queen of Wands here. This could be a relationship with a maternal figure. Someone who has this kind of maternal energy in your life, or maybe they still do, because maybe this person is still here. But this is kind of like, I almost feel like we had to get someone's approval. We had to get someone's support in order to begin this. You know, maybe that you didn't have to, but getting this confirmation or this support from this person really helped you to solidify your own path. You know, maybe it was mom, maybe it was grandma. Maybe this is representing an ancestor. There's a watery component here, which tells me that there's a deep connection with this person. And I almost feel like they're no longer on this plane, but I feel like this is the person from which you wanted guidance or confirmation or some sort of, I don't like using the word approval, really, it doesn't sound right, but that confirmation, right, that support. And I feel like we have that, but I feel like now there is some sort of confusion about the details going forward, right? It could be, because see, we have the air energy here, and like I said, we have this really nice trifecta of major arcana. But then we have this kind of more minor trinity, I guess, with the air energy and this maybe Sagittarius person, this fire energy. I don't think this is really a confusion about this being the path, about this working out, about you achieving your goal. There seems to be some sort of conflict about the details. And there's something that you really feel strongly about. You don't want to have to change a certain aspect of this. Some kind of some detail that I feel like you're holding on to. I feel like you don't want to you don't want to give in. You don't want to acquiesce to this, the notion that something needs to be altered. It's not changing the timeline, or it's not changing the outcome, but it's just some kind of a detail, changing the color of the car or something, changing the font on your billboard or something like that. But I feel like that's kind of a minor issue, to be honest. Let's see where to start. Well, let's go with the Six of Cups down here beneath everything. This is what motivates you, I feel like. Yeah, I feel like this is your desire to really be connected with the world. This is your desire and your driving motivation to share your gifts with the world, to share whatever this path is that you're on, which I feel does have like the sanction of your spirit guides, your ancestors. Maybe this kind of maternal energy that I'm feeling is more a spirit guide, a guardian angel, or an ancestor, more than, somebody in our more immediate family. You know what I mean? It could be resonating either way. But there is this deep drive in you to share your gifts, to use your talents and your abilities, to use your magic to connect with people, to build this kind of loving community, to build a really strong bond between yourself and your pets, your plants, your people. You want this harmonious life. Yeah. You want to contribute to that harmony using this gift that you have, using your own talents. And I think you believe very strongly in this. I think you have a lot of faith and hope and trust. Above everything is this Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is very strong energy. This card alone is saying, hey, great things are coming to you. And you know it. This card is in the position of what is consciously on your mind. And that is the inevitable results of this work and the sense of divine timing, right? It's kind of, maybe you already see that this wheel is turning and things are starting to happen. And you're thinking, this is just, the timing is perfect, right? The timing is perfect. It gives you that subtle smile because you know that spirit is here. That spirit is involved in all of this. And that's why the timing feels perfect. Now we've got this minor, not even a conflict, just this minor discussion really about some detail. Maybe the discussion is really about some element of the strategy to move forward. That we know we're arriving at this Eon or Judgment card, but maybe there is just a detail in what route to take. Right? Something like that. And it still may be manifesting as a discussion with a Sagittarius person or some other fire sign person. Okay. But with this Wheel of Fortune card, this is the real jackpot. This is the real payday. This is the real rewards for all of your hard work. And you have a lot of trust in this. You have a lot of faith in this. And that is another source of this strength, is your faith in God, Goddess, deity, in the higher powers, the higher mysteries, whatever you want to call them, in the ancestor and the guardian angel, So we're absolutely certain that this is going to happen at the exact right moment. Everything is falling into place. You probably have this sense already of the divine timing, like I said, and this kind of synchronicity. It could be that while you're working on all of this and I feel you've really been working very, very hard, probably sacrificing some of your own creature comforts to devote yourself to this work. But I think at the same time, the universe has been taking care of you. When you have created some sort of need in your life because you've been so focused, I feel like the universe arranges things in such a way that need is filled. Yeah. And I think that's really contributes to the magic of this. You're right in that sweet spot where it's just, where everything is in harmony, except for this little detail, and I don't know what exactly this is. In the position of the future, we've got this Knight of Swords. Now, with the Knight of Swords, it could sometimes represent an air sign person. It might be that we are needing to have this discussion with some other person. Now, I don't know that they're an air sign. I kind of still getting a fire vibe with whoever this other entity is. And this could just be some minor detail, something that might need to be changed, the color scheme or something. Or, just something that's not significant in the bigger picture, but it's a minor detail that you don't really feel like budging on, So this might be an exercise in us being flexible, right? As rigid and as firm and as steadfast and resolved as you are with this Nine of Wands, maybe through this air energy, we're learning a little bit of flexibility. Yeah. Maybe we're just, because let's look, we have this Six of Swords over here in the path of the serpent. You have this plan already. You've figured out exactly what you want to do and how you want to do it. And I think that maybe we're being a little bit too rigid with our expectations, a little bit too rigid with our plans. And this could be just an exercise of flexibility. Yeah. Because the Six here, this is a good plan. You have a strategy. This is the Six of Swords. This is science, right? You've got this down to a divine science, if you'll forgive that term. But I think this card could be too strict. This card could be too formal, too rigid. You've established it this way and you don't want to budge. This is the way you've maybe received this download, and you're not going to change, a nanobite. So that affects the art or temperance card here. And this card is what's in your environment, right? And the art or temperance card is the finesse. This is the strategy. This is being able to adapt to the situation and make changes on the fly as you need to. It's about the art, right? The finesse, the kind of the spontaneity of it, which is different. Art, and then we have science. Excuse me. Well, this is a major arcana, so I think it kind of overpowers the science. Right? I think in this case, this artistic energy is way more powerful just based on, major versus minor arcana. So this, I think, has to be something that you embrace. This is going to win out, and this is going to, in some way, require you to be flexible. The more we resist this, I think, the more difficult it's going to be. And this card, you know what, sometimes it also talks about a little test, and this could be the final test that Spirit is putting you through to make sure that you're prepared for this really tremendous success that's on its way. Yeah. Because we are so steadfast and rigid and strong that we can decide on something and we stick to it. Well, we decided on this Six of Swords and we're sticking to it. That's not always the best method, right? So I think Spirit's kind of saying, look, I'm going to put this obstacle in your way. I'm going to see how you handle it. Let's see how you can handle some curveballs being thrown, right? Some unexpected things happening. So I think that there is this little detail that could potentially turn into a big impasse if we let it, right? Might just be, okay, well, I can't have the color I want. Well, I can compromise, I can be flexible. It's a minor detail that maybe we're starting to turn it into a really big deal when it shouldn't be, right? Maybe we need to learn how to finesse this a little bit. Yeah. Because what I see next, this is pretty interesting. This is a Princess of Swords. This is in the position of what you don't want. This is kind of an obstacle. This is this is a bit of a roadblock. This is your defensiveness. This is you, I think, really down here in the Six of Swords, defending your choices, not being willing to budge. You're holding your ground. See, you're standing here. You're not allowing anything to budge you. You're not going to move from that spot, right? You're holding your ground at all costs. And again, that's a very, very good quality. That shows a lot of strength, a lot of self-knowledge, a lot of resolve. But it could get us in trouble. We have to learn how to use that, how to kind of pull it back, how to yield, how to have a little bit more strategy with it. You know, we can do a little dance here. We don't have to just hold our ground and fight off any conflicting energy or idea or alternative that we didn't already account for. So this might be part of that test. Are you just going to defend this to the very end, and this is going to be the end of it? See, if we don't get past this, we're never going to get to this eon, this judgment, this rebirth, this reawakening, right? The closer you get, you can hear the music. You can hear it. You can hear the good times. You can hear the success. You can hear the great things that are here. I say they're coming your way, but I think they're waiting for you. But we're stuck here a little bit in this kind of thing. And we're going to continue with this I don't like to call it a conflict, but with this, friction until we learn the lesson here and we pass this test. And I think it has to do with the rigidity of our ideas and our ability to be flexible, because we really do want this. This is the doorway to the rest of your life. The great things that you want to manifest are just beyond this. And this is a fiery doorway. This is a baptism by fire. It's like you have to be tested in the work, in the real world. You've got to be tested through your ability to work hard. Even though we're not seeing the results right now on a daily basis. We're not like, you don't get paid at the end of the day. We're being tested in our faith. We're being tested in our respect and trust for this kind of energy that came before us. We're being tested in our ability to handle our interactions and, to be flexible, to finesse the situation, to adapt and to change as we need to. So there's a lot of fire going on that is preparing you for what is on the other side of this. Yeah. And this, I think, is really great success. I think this, whatever you're doing here, and again, I don't really have a sense of what this is, if you're building a business, if this is you preparing some sort of community organization or a charity. Maybe you're working on a creative venture, maybe a book, maybe you're an artist. Maybe you're building a home, building a family. Or it could be all of these things. But the kind of success that we're looking for, this kind of breakthrough, next level, new era, is just beyond this doorway. And the closer we get, we can hear the music, we can hear the party going on the other side, and we've almost made it to this doorway, right? Or maybe we're at the door now and we're slowly going through it. And it's fire, right? So it's kind of the final burn of all of this energy before we can get through this. And this, I think, is going to be really, really special. I wonder if the mystery card is going to give us any further insight. Let's take a look at that mystery card. Our alien did a fine job of guarding that for us. We're still thinking of a name for the alien. We've got Mork. We've got Bowie. I kind of like Simon for the alien. But we'll keep getting suggestions. So if you have a suggestion, leave them down in the comments. At some point, we'll gather the top contenders, and then collectively we'll all choose a couple of names that we like the best. I think you can have 2 or 3 names. That would be fine. But the mystery card, I don't know. I'd like to see maybe another 6, showing some harmony, showing maybe some flexibility in maybe some air energy, but maybe like maybe a 2 or a 4, maybe, even a 5 of swords, I think would be good in this context. Yeah. I think it's going to be some good flexible style air energy, but let's find out. No, it's the Devil card. It's the Devil card. The Devil card is, I think, the Devil gets a bad rap. A lot of the time when we get this Devil energy, I think of that Cake song. What is it? Satan is my motor, right? And I know that's kind of a bad word, Satan, right? But to me, it's that drive, it's that ambition and that stamina within us that just keeps us pushing no matter what, right? We then can lean into the shadow side of that, where we kind of get chained to what we're doing. We get obsessed with what we're doing, and nothing can push us aside. Sometimes that's very good. Sometimes that's not. See, the Devil card's not an inherently negative or evil or bad card or bad energy. It's very strong, very committed, very fixated, very hyper-focused energy, very creative energy. Could be used for good, could be used for evil, right? Depends on us, depends on the other cards on our table. And I think if we're over here on the path of the Dove, this Devil energy is perfect. We've got some of that. We are locked in with our work. Nothing can push us aside. This is good energy to have. But at the same time, the Devil could be over here and saying we are chained to our preconceived ideas, to our choices that we've already made, and we're not going to be flexible. This is a card, the Devil energy, not flexible at all. So in this context, that Devil energy, I think, is unwanted. But over here in the path of the Dove, it would be perfectly good energy, useful energy. So with this card as the confirmation card, I think we're saying, look, you can use the Devil energy to stick with your work and to push this through to the end, but beware that it doesn't prevent that flexibility, right? We still don't have the flexibility yet. We're still trying to get to this point where we realize we need it, and realize that some of our strength, some of our almost obsession with what we're doing is getting in the way of the kind of results we want, right? Kind of shooting ourselves in the foot a little bit. So we need the flexibility. We need to have this fixation and this obsession with our work, but we also need to know that we cannot be chained to anything. That if the situation arises where we need to adapt and change and be flexible, we need to be able to do that. So we need to break the chains. And maybe this means to volunteer to change something, just as a symbolic act, to say, I'm not chained to this. I'm not so utterly frozen and rigid that I can't adapt and be flexible to the requirements of the environment. Yeah. So maybe we need to symbolically break these chains by accepting whatever this change is. Like I said, it was a small detail, so it really doesn't mean that much. But by us kind of acquiescing, we're saying, okay, I'm not chained to any structure, any belief, any I'm not so utterly beholden to it that I can't change just some little detail. That ultimately doesn't mean much anyway. So this might be exactly the kind of confirmation card that we need, right? So I'm happy with that. I think that's a good one. I think that's exactly what we need at this point in the reading. Now we're going to do an extended. If you would like to stick around, just click on the link up here. That will give you access to all of the extended readings, not just for Gemini, but for every sign. All right. I encourage you to cross-watch, check your other placements. Please hit the like button, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. All right. Thank you for letting me read for you, and thank you for being the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot.